Hello everyone and welcome to the Big Money Ready lesson. So we're about to get started, so if you've got a pen and paper to hand, that might help you in our activities later on. So hello again everybody and welcome to the Big Money Ready lesson. My name's Vicky and this is Katie and we are both trainers at Money Ready. So we usually go into schools or organisations to teach people about money, but today we're reaching even more people with this webinar. At Money Ready, it's really important to us that everybody is confident with money. We teach all ages the skills to do so. But today we're going to focus on how to stay safe online and scams that are out there right now. If you have any questions through the session or after the session, feel free to message us on social media, or you can email us at info@moneyready.org. So what is a scam? A scam is when someone lies or tricks people into getting money, property, or personal details, often by pretending to be someone they're not or promising something they never deliver. 80% of young people are exposed to a scam in any given month. So we're sure that someone here or in the room with you has come across one. So to start us off, we're going to ask you a few questions to see what you know already. Have a chat to the person next to you, and you'll have 30 seconds to decide on what you think the correct answer is. So first question, how much money did scammers take from people in the UK in 2024? Was it A, £1.4 billion, B, £114 billion, C, £11.4 billion, or D, £140 billion? You've got 30 seconds. Ten seconds left. Okay, time is up. The answer is £11.4 billion.
To put that in context, that is the same as being able to buy 760 million PlayStation 5s or 114 million iPhone 16s. It's really important to protect yourself, and that is what we are here to help with. So on to question 2. What age group are most targeted by scams? A, 18 to 24-year-olds, B, 25 to 40-year-olds, C, 40 to 60-year-olds, or D, 60 plus. More time on the screen. Last few seconds. And time is up. The answer here is 18 to 24-year-olds. So lots of people think that you'll only be targeted for scams if you are older or if you've got lots of money. But actually, younger people are becoming the targets more and more, especially with the increase of technology and AI.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of different scams out there. So in today's session, we're going to look more in depth into phishing, shopping, and gaming scams. So let's find out what phishing is.
What is phishing? Phishing has been around since the 1990s and is a scam where criminals trick people into giving away personal information, including passwords or bank details. This is usually by pretending to be a trusted company or person through fake emails, messages, or websites. Scammers can target people through voice calls, phishing, or texts, smishing, too. Their goal is to make you click a link, download an attachment, or enter your private information to give them access to your accounts and personal data such as your full name, address, email, passwords, etc. Often without you even realizing it. They'll use a range of different ways to engage with people, including via their social media accounts. Remember, scammers usually don't know anything about you until you share information. They could have sent a message to hundreds of random phone numbers and are just hoping for one or two responses.
So now we know what phishing is, we are going to look at some messages. Your job is to spot whether they are genuine or they are a scam. We're going to show you real messages from companies that people have received, and you have to decide if they are actually who they say they are or not.
So our first one is going to come up now, and this is from Amazon. You've got 60 seconds to decide if it is scam or genuine, and speak to the people around you. What do you think might be the clues? And if you want to pop them in the chat, that'd be fab, and we'll see who gets this one right.
You've had 30 seconds. You can put it in the chat if you want to put it in the chat, but there's no pressure to.
Oh, some really good clues people are seeing there. We've got a few people thinking it is scams. Good point, Claire, asking for an address. That is a red flag for lots of people.
Okay, time is nearly up.
Oh, most are saying scam, but we have had a couple of genuines. Let's see. That one was indeed a scam. And we're going to go into more details about why, but you've already spotted loads of the clues.
Okay, next up, we have got a text from a bank, MBNA. They are a real bank, by the way. Is this genuine or is it a scam?
Our first guess is in.
We've got some mixed responses here.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's really
hard.
difficult.
That's halfway through you've got for your time.
Seconds left.
And time is up. And I think most people got that in the chat. That one is genuine. Okay, next up then we've got delivery company DHL. Is this one genuine or a scam?
Got quite a lot of messages saying it's a scam so far.
30 seconds left to keep thinking. Got about 10 seconds left now. And time is up. So what's interesting with this one is this actually happened to you, didn't it, Vicky?
It did, yes.
And it was genuine.
It was genuine. We'll talk a little bit more about that later.
So
next up, we have got another bank, Barclays. Is it a genuine one or is it a scam?
I feel like people are getting less sure now.
And a lot more question marks after the answers, aren't there? Yeah. Oh, this is a real mixed one here. Genuine, scam, scam, genuine, genuine.
Oh, I like George's comment.
10 seconds left for anyone else that wants to add into the chat.
And time is up on our final question at this section. That one was a scam.
So did anybody notice the L in that scam? We'll talk about that in a second. Did you manage to spot the fake versus the genuine ones? Now we're going to look through them and look at the telltale signs as to whether they were genuine or they were scam. Remember, phishing involves scammers targeting people in different ways, including social media. So these tips can be used in different scenarios.
So first up, we will look at who the sender is. That's something that's really good to check if you ever get an email or a message you're not sure about. So if it's from a dodgy email or a number, it's usually from a scammer. And what some companies are trying to do to help us is they are verifying it. So we've got a picture here from DHL, which was on WhatsApp. And lots of people thought this one was a scam, but WhatsApp have added this blue tick in to help you verify if a company can be trusted.
Next thing is to be wary of the details. Did anyone notice that capital L? Well, that capital L was actually, that little L was actually a capital I. Also be careful of the unfamiliar numbers and the links on it. Do you know what happens if you click on those?
So it could lead you to a fake website, and some of them look super professional now. But there it could encourage you to share your personal information or give some scammers access to your device. And if they had that, they could download a virus or they could track what you do.
And if you click on the phone number and phone them, it could result in a huge phone bill, or you could end up talking to a scammer. And if you're talking to the scammer, they might pretend to be someone they're not and try to get more personal information out of you.
So what you could do if you see those links, like George was saying, is to check them. You can type in when any links were created using something like who.is. That will tell you when the domain was created. And if it's new, it's quite likely it could be a scam. You can also, if you do click anything, check if it says HTTPS rather than HTTP. And if it comes up, look out for the padlock or connection is secure. If you're not sure, don't enter any personal information and close the website down.
Next up, look for identifiable information to prove that the company have a relationship with you. So in the DHL example, we obviously said it was one that I received. We've just had to blank out my address, so you don't all know where I live. But it was genuine. I knew there was a parcel coming as well. It was coming from abroad, so I was expecting possibly some tax.
Another thing is important is that with Amazon, some of you spotted this, it just says your billing address. And it actually relies on you inputting that information rather than them knowing it in advance. But Barclays here, they pretended that they knew you. They pretended there was a genuine transaction, but that was fake. So make sure you check your bank statement. If you even bank with Barclays, that's quite a red flag there if you're not with them. But check as well through Apple or whoever they're claiming you've made a transaction with before you click anything or send them any information.
I think this is maybe why people are so reluctant to give a scam or a genuine answer, because it is really difficult to tell.
Yeah, this one's a really detailed one. And something important here is that they've created a sense of urgency.
Good point, Katie. Yeah, if your message feels like you're going to miss out on something, or there's going to be a bad consequence, or a lifetime deal that you're going to miss out on, or money that's going to go missing, it's often a sign of a scam.
So most scams have got spelling mistakes, they've got grammar, they've got obvious clickbait. But people are getting cleverer and cleverer as scammers. So we need to make sure we're keeping ourselves safe and looking out for all of these tiny things that could help us.
Scammers don't just target us by phishing, though. There are lots of ways that they try and get our personal information. They trick us maybe into buying things that don't get delivered or aren't as expected. With the average person now receiving 5 parcels a week, there are more and more shopping scams happening. This happened to you, didn't it, Katie?
It did, yes. So on the screen now is a picture of a dog paddling pool that I wanted to buy a few years ago. So my old family dog, Poppy, used to absolutely love water. So I saw this advert on social media and I thought, you know what, that's great. I'll get that. I'll send it straight to my parents. The dog can play in it immediately. It's $28.99. So, it's not really cheap, but it's not too expensive for a little joke situation. So I bought it straight away. And when it arrived, this is what I got. So maybe more the size for a Chihuahua than a Staffy Lab that she was.
That's funny. And did you get your money back?
No.
Oh.
So this is what is called a bait and switch. So technically I got the product. It's just the sizes weren't exactly what I was expecting.
Thanks for sharing, Katie. It's really common that things like this happen. I'm sure that there's someone watching that's gone, yeah, that's happened to me too. I know I've also had some like that.
Well, it's a really good story now. Like, I can use it in this to show people how easy it is to get scammed. I think of myself as quite savvy, but imagine if this was for a concert ticket for a few £100s, or even a car for thousands of pounds. There's lots of things that I didn't really check in with. So what were the red flags that I could have looked out for? You're going to have 2 minutes now on the screen and a recap of what happened to me. So chat with the people around you. What did I miss and what could I have looked out for in the future?
If you want to share some of your ideas, feel free to add them into the chat. We're both nodding there like, nice, Isla. Yeah. Yeah. In that side, Katie. A minute left. Really good suggestions coming through. Keep them coming.
Okay, so some of the things you guys have said brilliantly in the chat already that we would recommend. So something I really should have done.
Absolutely. Is, and something like you say, there's lots of you have come out of it in the chat. Make sure you check the reviews. Reviews are often written by bots if they are glowing reviews. So make sure you check them. Ones with pictures tend to be more accurate, not always, but they can be. If the review, like if we look at the reviews on this screen, you can see Kathy over there is really unhappy and it seems like a genuine review. Whereas you've got a 5-star review, a couple of 5-star reviews actually from anonymous sources.
So another thing that I should have done is, as people are saying, I'm feeling quite like guilty here of all these really obvious things I should have checked, that I didn't know the store. So we've actually blanked it out in the little advert because there's loads of people doing this. It's not just one store. So making sure I research who the store is. Do I trust them? Like people have said, don't go through social media, Google it myself, find it another way instead. So what I could have done is check the domain name, just like in phishing with who.is or something like that.
You could have also done a reverse image search. So a reverse image search, like on TinEye, for example, you could take the images from the company's website and put them in here. And then you can see if they're genuinely the company's photos or they are somebody else's.
So what we're going to do now is hear from our colleague, Angela. So it's another video, so hopefully people will be able to hear this well, but it is subtitled at the bottom too. She had a non-delivery scam happen to her. So let's see what her issue was.
Hi, I'm Angela from Northern Ireland. A few years ago, I got myself a new dress and it very quickly became my favourite dress. I could make it smart, casual, it was super comfortable, I got loads of compliments, and I just wore it so much it started to wear out. I wanted to see if I could get a new one, so I had a look on Vinted and eBay and the sites that I knew about, but I had no joy. I kept looking and I found this outlet website that had loads of high street stores on and looked super professional. I found my dress, I found my size, it was only 50 quid. I was delighted. Happy to pay the money, filled in all my details, but as soon as I hit confirm, something changed. The website suddenly didn't look so professional anymore, the language changed, and when I checked the delivery address, it was in the United States. I very quickly realised I'd been scammed. I was too embarrassed to tell anybody. I was checking my bank account for days to make sure that no more money went out. I felt so embarrassed.
So Angela could have done a few things there. She thought she'd bought a replacement dress, but it never arrived, even though it had said that it had shipped. So some things we think she maybe could have looked out for there.
The first thing would be the price. Things that we buy don't usually come cheap or free. It's the basics of business. Businesses want to make money. If they're selling them for cheap or for free, they're not making money. So often scam companies will give them away or sell them for cheap. It's a real clear scam.
Another one could be the returns policy. So if it's tricky or there's lots of reviews saying that they struggle to get a return, it might mean the company knows that their product is a little bit dodgy and wants to make it hard for you to send it back. And then another one, just like for me and for our phishing ones, is check the reviews. Find out what people are saying about the product before you part with your cash.
It's really easy for people to say, well, you should have done this, or didn't you spot that? And I know earlier you were kind of going, yeah, I should have done that. The truth is, even if we think we've done everything we can, scammers can still find their way. Our final shopping scam that we're going to look at today is fake online stores asking for payments in different ways. Let's find out what happened to Mia.
Hi, my name's Josh and I'm going to tell you a story all about Mia. So Mia was looking for a holiday for the summer. She was on various websites looking for accommodation and found herself on Airbnb where she found a lovely, cheap little villa. So like a lot of us, she didn't look at all the information, but what she did notice was on one of the pictures, there was a message saying that she needed to email first because the villa was advertised on other websites as well. So Mia emailed the company and they were like, yeah, that's fine. Will you reserve it on booking.com? Apparently, it was less fees for the agency. And so Mia was like, yeah, go ahead, that's fine. And eventually, the agency sent her a link to a website that looked like booking.com. So when she clicked the link, she compared it with the real booking website that she was on. She checked the copyright, she checked terms and conditions, and all this was the same. So she thought it was legit. When she tried to log on, though, it wouldn't let her. So this is when she started to think things were getting just a little bit strange. Mia knew that you normally use your card details to reserve properties on Booking, so decided to email booking.com. In the meantime, Mia was getting emails from the agency pressuring her into booking the accommodation because other people were apparently interested in the same dates. And of course, it did turn out to end up being a scam. And when Mia got back in touch with them to tell them so, they never replied to her.
So luckily, Mia just avoided being scammed. And it all started with a legitimate company. So you've got another couple of minutes to think, what helped to realize it was a scam? What were the red flags? And what can you look out for your own future? Pop it in the chat or think in your rooms.
Nice to see some tips that we've already given being added into the chat now too. Nice points, keep them coming. "30 seconds left, some really good points coming through. Okay, your time is up. Luckily, Mia was savvy enough to spot that something didn't seem right. The website wasn't accepting her login details for a start, but she does really need to be careful here because she entered her login details. And I know I'm guilty of this. A lot of people use the same password for a lot of different things. If that's the case, then these scammers could try their luck on other websites or on booking.com themselves to log into Mia's account.
And she tried to check it against the real booking.com and she couldn't see any difference. So it's actually really lucky that she did still realize and called them. And can you imagine, like, she'd have lost money? That's terrible. But what if she went on holiday and then didn't have a villa when she arrived? Like, that would ruin your holiday and a half,
really
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So what we are going to do now is go through some of the top tips that we could have when it comes to shopping.
You've had a chance to look through all the different things. We've talked about some of the tips and you've put some really good ones in the chat. The first thing we said as a top tip was to check the reviews and research the company. If you do that, you know whether they to some degree are legit or not. The next thing, be checking the websites to make sure you know who you are buying from. Are you being taken to an unfamiliar website to pay? Also, be wary of those too good to be true prices. If they're cheap, they're probably a scam. And then also checking that returns policy. If they're making it difficult for you to return the things that you have bought, usually a sign of a scam.
And finally, protecting yourself when you are paying. So some things like credit cards and PayPal offer buyer protection, and lots of debit cards do this too. And these can help you get your money back if you are ever scammed. The main thing is avoid direct bank transfers as much as possible. This makes it harder, if not impossible, to get your money back.
So since we've been talking about purchases online, we're going to talk a little bit about where young people spend a lot of their money nowadays, on gaming platforms. In-game scams are on the rise, with 61% of young people saying they've been hacked in the past year. Scammers use fake trades, currency generators, or impersonate famous gamers to steal in-game currency, purchases, or personal information.
And this stolen info can lead to identity theft, drained bank accounts, and fake profiles used to target other people. In fact, 67% of young people say that identity theft is the most common fraud that they have faced. So it's important to stay alert and protect yourself from these scams. So we're going to give you our top tips for them.
The first one is be cautious of strangers. Seems obvious, but don't transfer that money to someone you've not met in person. Also, be cautious of unexpected gifts or offers, like with the shopping scams. If it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Next, keep your personal information exactly that, personal. Don't share too much. Be careful in chats and think, is someone asking you questions to be friendly, or are they actually trying to scam you?
Next, protect your passwords and your bank details. It's really easy to save your passwords into all sorts of stores. Again, guilty. But enter them manually. Think about it. If a scammer manages to hack you, they've straight away got your bank details and they can use them however they want. The other tip is to make sure you have two-factor authentication to protect yourself.
So just like with the other ones, check those reviews, check any websites are trusted sources, and see if you can research it yourself. So what we're going to do now that we've looked at phishing, gaming, and shopping scams is we're going to do a bit of a quiz to work out what is your mindset around scams and money. So if you've got a piece of paper, that could be handy for you to have to hand now. If not, don't worry. We're going to ask you 5 different questions, and the answer is either A, B, or C. Not a right answer or a wrong answer, just what you think. And keep track of, do you answer mainly A's, mainly B's, or mainly C's?
So first question, you get a text message from your favourite online shop saying there's a deal on trainers exclusively for you and you need to confirm your details via a link. What do?
You can put these answers in the chat if you want to, but the main thing is that you remember how many of each of them that you have gone for. Remember, there's not a right or a wrong, we're just seeing what you might do. So would you A, check the official website or app first to see if there's a loyalty reward for your account before doing anything?
Do you B, click the link and enter your details? You shop there all the time, you don't want to miss out.
Or do you C, ignore the message and report it? You know that deals wouldn't usually arrive in this way.
Just a reminder, it's not what you think's right, it's about what you would do this time.
Next up then. A new friend from your gaming group offers to level you and your mates up. They just need your password to sort it. What would you do?
A, ask them why they need it and consider changing your password later just in case.
B, give them your password. They seem nice and it would save you time.
Or C, refuse and enable 2-factor authentication. Never share your passwords.
Next, an influencer that you follow who often shares legit deals posts a story about a 1-hour flash sale for a brand you like with a link to the shop. What do you do?
A, change the brand's official website or social media. Check it to see if there's any details, any deals that are in real before using the link.
B, click the link in their story and start shopping. You trust them and you don't want to miss out.
Or C, ignore the post completely because you were worried it might be a scam, only to find out later that it was a genuine offer. I will give you a couple of seconds. Next question, you get a message claiming your online account will be suspended unless you respond to the text with your details immediately. What's your response?
Do you A, message the sender to find out a bit more about what has happened?
B, send them your details straight away to avoid losing access?
Or C, don't click, instead go directly to the official website to check if there is a real problem?
Okay, final question. A friend messages you with a link to a special offer where any online gift cards you buy are doubled for free. They've just done it themselves. What do? Do
you A, ask your friend where they found the link and look it up to see whether it's from a trusted source?
B, go for it. If your friend's just done it, it's got to be safe.
Or C, avoid the link and use official gift card stores instead. Even friends can be fooled by scams.
Okay, so now you've had time, try and work out whether you are majority A, majority B, or majority C answers. If you're split across 2, that's fine. It just gives you an idea of what your mindset is around scams and shopping and doing things online.
And it looks like we've got a lot of C's as well, which is interesting.
Okay.
But let's see what it might mean, depending which one you had the most answers to.
So if you went with A, you're a curious explorer. This means you investigate before making decisions, which is a fantastic habit to have. Your research-first approach shows you value informed choices, but be mindful of your emotions like FOMO or that urgency. With a little more confidence in saying no, you'll master online decisions in no time.
If anyone was mainly B, you are a risk taker. So willingness to dive in and explore opportunities is a great quality, but it can sometimes leave you exposed to unnecessary risks. New things can be rewarding, but pausing to verify or think critically, it'll save you from potential dangers. Balance your boldness with caution for best results.
And finally, if you're C, you are a cautious critic. You approach online information with a dose of skepticism. You think carefully, avoid risky decisions, and prioritize safety over speed. It can be a great strength, but sometimes action after you've done your research can also be good. Stay balanced and curious.
So some people might be a mixture. I see in the chat a few people were A's or C's, but being aware of it can help you be more savvy going forward and realizing if you're actually easily influenced. Don't forget to protect yourself from scams in loads of different ways.
The reality of scamming is this: 1 in 7 people fell victim to scams in the last year. So what can you do if you think you or someone you know has been scammed? We've shared lots of facts and tips for you today, but we thought it would be good to have it all in one place. Remember, it's important to act fast and not ignore it. So here are our key tips.
So first off is to stop. Stop and reflect on any links that you've got and check them with who.is or TinEye, and also think about what it is you're buying. Stop any contact with the scammer and freeze your cards. So you could do that either by contacting your bank through the app or calling the number on the back of the card or calling 159 or directly to the correct bank.
Next, contact. Contact and report it to Action Fraud, for example, or you can email phishing@gov.uk. Any emails you can forward them on, or any texts you can send to 7726. Also, it's really important that you contact the genuine organisation or platform to let them know that someone is pretending to be them.
And it's a really good point in the chat that a lot of us might ignore things but not report it. But reporting is how we can actually stop these scammers and help other people not falling victim to these scams. So next up, we would say adjust. Change your passwords, review your contact details, and also add in 2-factor authentication to make sure that any mistakes you've made won't affect you in the future.
Next, monitor. Monitor things like your bank accounts and your transactions, particularly if you've got your details saved in stores, because if scammers hack you, they can use it. Also, monitor your feelings and reach out for support. This can be a really difficult time for people, and we shouldn't just brush it under the carpet. Like, think about it, monitor it, and reach out for support if you need it. Victim Support have a 24/7 chat line on their website if you need some help.
And that leads us into share. Share your experience to help other people avoid it. We want to try and end the stigma around scams because so many people are affected by them. And if we share information about it, it can help us all become savvier in the future and avoid these.
This information is really useful to share with people you know. Hopefully, we've given you the confidence to distinguish the differences between scams and fake messages and genuine ones, and the consequences of being scammed and what to do if you're a victim.
So thank you so much for joining us today, this morning. So do head to our website to find out more about the sessions that we run. And also we would love to see some pictures of the things that you have been doing today on our social media. So if you scan this QR code, it'll be fab to have a look at us on our social media and let us know any pictures you might have made.
There is also a follow-on activity that can get you to dive into the effects on scams and what they do to people and the effects they have on people. All the information on there was sent with the link for today's session. Please do reach out to us if you have any other questions, and hopefully we'll see you at a future Big Money Ready lesson or in person when you book a session.
We're working on as well recording this session, so we'll let you know if you can access it and how you can do that. And we hope that you've enjoyed joining us this morning. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.